This is that fish breeder here with day 5 of my Triops series, and today I just realized that I have 3 animals inside this container instead of 2, like I said yesterday. 2 of them are Triops, but the other one is actually a fairy shrimp. And if you don't know what those are, just search it on Google. Fairy shrimp are, they're a lot, different because they're not as active. There's the fairy shrimp. If you see, it's so much slower compared to the chop, that one that's jumping around like crazy. And, if you still don't know what a fairy shrimp looks like, it looks just like a sea monkey. The only difference between a sea monkey and a fairy shrimp is that a sea monkey is saltwater, while a fairy shrimp, like you can see right there, that slow moving thing, is in fresh water, just like these triops. And the triops, this is just another reason why I support triops better than sea monkeys. As you can see just right here, this super active hyper triop compared to that really slow fairy shrimp. And so back to the triop diary. The triop, he's grown a lot. As you can tell, the camera can actually see him a lot better compared to the previous days. See that? And this actually isn't even full size. He's gonna get a lot bigger. The second trap, I actually can't find him right now. Might have been eaten, but lately I've been reading the instructions here. So this is the instruction manual. So today, yesterday, day 4, says to grow larger traps with adult supervision, begin feeding your traps very tiny bits of peeled carrots or tiny bits of fish and shrimp 2 to 3 times weekly. So I would like to get them a lot bigger to prepare them for breeding size. So what I went ahead and did was I didn't actually feed them a real shrimp, but this is close enough to shrimp. Daphnia from the Flukers. It's a freeze-dried version. Freeze-dried is basically, they took the animal, they sterilized it and killed it, and then what they did, they desiccated it, which means they took out all the moisture. That's why it's called freeze-dried. And then it becomes like this. It's really dry. Looks like little pieces here. Hold on. Look like that. And yeah, I still do have a lot. I got this about 2 years ago, and they'll last you a really long time. And these can stay edible for basically forever. See that? They kind of look like rocks or whatnot. But it's actually Daphnia, which is a crustacean that lives with a triops, and so I thought it would just be in their natural diet to eat this, so I gave it to them. It's basically just like shrimp, so I gave it to them. So as I was saying, so I think that's what made him grow so big. If you compare him to yesterday, I don't think he was this big. There's actually still some Daphnia left. Let's see. Let's see. There's a triop swimming around like crazy. I don't think the camera can see it, but, yeah, there's still some pieces in there. And, so I'm just gonna leave that in there until he finishes it. I don't think I'm gonna feed him today, because here they said day 5, which is today, to make a fresh batch of finely crushed food and feed your chops 1/4. I was gonna do that, but since he's still eating the previous day's food, decided to let him eat that. It's probably even more nutritious, I think. But he should start eating his greens because it's important for omnivores, including humans, to get a varied diet of fresh fruits, vegetables, and of course meat. So here, obviously, he's been getting meat a lot in the pellets and in the recent Daphnia, but he should start getting vegetables. So I'm planning on feeding him for his 2 to 3 times weekly treat. I'm starting to think of feeding him some pre-boiled lettuce, which is basically just normal lettuce, any kind of lettuce that you would eat, and just put and boil it in hot water for 3 minutes so that it's soft enough for him to eat. Then just dump a small sliver of it inside, and he'll just feast on that. Or a carrot too, but thinking of just lettuce. But so you can see how much more active he is. He swims around a lot, which, see, right now he's actually eating the Daphnia. See, he's going, that's the area, that little pile there, that's the Daphnia. And right there, well, he was there. He was munching on that. Right now, he's just playing around now. But, it's actually kind of hard to tell whether he's eating something or not, but you can tell if he stays over some food item, whatever it is, an edible food item, that is, over a period of 3 seconds or longer, and he's not like swimming around it or anything, or just lands on it for 1 second and runs away. That's not eating. He's just, well, jumping on it. So if it's 3 seconds or longer, you know he's eating it. So basically, I'm just letting him grow and grow until I can begin his feeding of, there he is, until I can begin his feeding of his actual pellets. Right there. Sorry. He's actually, you can actually start seeing his appendages now, and you can obviously tell from this camera that he's starting to get an orangish tint. So at least I know he's getting a lot of his energy, a lot of his food is going into his coloration as well. Or that could be his hemoglobin, and if you're wondering what that is, it's in brine shrimp, fairy shrimp, and a whole load of other animals like Daphnia. But, and I think it's in traps, I'm unsure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but hemoglobin is something which is like in the bloodstream, and when there's not enough oxygen levels, the hemoglobin activates, and that's the orange or red coloration, which means that there's not enough oxygen, and the animals are trying to suck out as much oxygen as possible from the stagnant water pool that they're in. So I think he has plenty of oxygen because he's not like swimming at the top, and what that means is that there's not enough oxygen. If he swims at the top like and sits up here, that means he's trying to get as much oxygen out of the water as possible, because they're where they receive their oxygen from is from their legs, which is a lot different from us, but that is where they get theirs. And that's why when they swim at the top, they stick their feet out of the water and they splash it around on the out of the air, and that's why, because they're basically breathing from out here in the air, just like humans. So yeah, so that's basically it. Basically, he's growing, and I've been feeding him a new food item, which he's very much enjoying. I will update soon, probably tomorrow, or possibly the day after tomorrow. Here is the thermometer. Just want to show you. You can't see it, just like it's about a low, probably 80s to 82 degrees. Seems like it's gone down, but that's because it's morning. So, alright, see ya.